Okay, so here's where we are with the 2020 election. In philosophy, there's thought experiments, and one of the more famous ones is the baby on the tracks. You've all heard some variation of it where you're at the switch and the train's coming, and there's a baby on one track, and there's some amount of people on the other track, and you have to decide if you're gonna. Actually, usually it starts with the baby and an old person, and it's a baby and a group of people of varying numbers, etc., etc. Doesn't matter. You get the point. You have to choose who to save. Do you hit the switch and kill the baby, kill the baby, but save the group of people, or do you hit the switch and kill the group of people so that the baby can live? Neither of these choices are good. Neither of these choices are comfortable. Neither of these choices are choices any of us ever want or hopefully will ever have to make. But in my version, in the 2020 version of that thought experiment, you're on the track and everybody else is on the other track. Who's driving the train doesn't matter. The train is immaterial at this point. It's the thing that's going to kill you. And we know what the train represents. So, you're on the track. Oh, let's be honest. If you hit that switch to kill everybody else, you're really only doing it out of your own reasons, whatever your reasons are. I'm not here to make you think that I don't think your reasons are good. They're all good reasons. I get that neither of these choices are choices that anybody wants to make. I get that. But if you choose to screw everybody else over so that you can be comfortable, that's what you're doing here. If you're writing in or you're not voting or you're saying that, choosing the lesser of two evils is still choosing an evil. All of those are true. All of those are great. But when it comes down to it, if you vote any other way or you don't vote, you're voting for Trump. Period. You're hitting that switch and screwing everybody else. You're saying your existence means less than whatever I got going on over here. Whatever your reasons are. And good for you. You're strong and ambitious and know what you want out of life and all those things. But by doing that, you are literally screwing everyone else. Now, if you pull that switch and you take that hit, you did a thing you didn't want to do and it cost you. But you did it for the good of everybody else. And in this case, it's not a baby, it's not an old person, it's babies, old people, people of color, LGBTQA, plus immigrants, anybody who's not a white Christian male, women, everything. Every single other thing than Christian white males is on that other track. And you're deciding that your emotional attachment is more valuable than them. Because if you don't think what we've seen already won't go ape shit if we allow another 4 years, you're delusional. If you're sitting there going, well, no, not voting for Trump or not voting for Biden isn't voting for Trump. Yeah, it is, because here's 0 and here's 1. These two equal out. Okay. That person voted, equal out. This person voted, you didn't. And what do you get? +1. And enough of you do that. +1, +1, +1. That's what you're doing. I get it. God, that's the problem with this argument, is that people refuse to understand that anybody who's saying we have to do a thing we don't like to do is saying we want Biden. No, I don't want Biden. I wanted Biden to be vice president because he was a kooky, didn't really bother much. Plus he said the F word on TV. So that's great. But this is different. Yes, he's old and maybe crazy, but Bernie's old and crazy too. I know that we as fans don't like to step back and go, that's a little weird. Okay? I'm not a big fan of end the Fed. I do think that the Fed needs to be revamped and fixed. I don't think that by completely devaluing every dollar in every person's pocket in the country is the way we do it. That is what a lot of Bernie fans have heard. There's even bumper stickers in the Fed. And it started with Ron Paul. You know, it's an old libertarian idea, but it's not a good idea. Does work need to be done? Most certainly. Ending the Fed piecemeal like that it's not going to work. So, yes, I am super pissed off that we took the widest, diversest, that's not a word, group of talented, qualified people and boiled it down to two damn near octogenarians. I am not happy about that. But, and I know that it's harder for women because Joe Biden is super creepy. He's a touchy-feely. It's uncomfortable to see. But there's no pictures of him with Epstein. There's no record of him, raping his wife. There's no him wanting to bang his daughter. Maybe he hasn't been given the opportunity to say these things yet. But knowing how Joe runs his mouth, he probably would have if that was, a thing. But the other one we have proof of. We know what he is. I'm sorry, but yes, 0 equals 1 in this situation. Staying home and writing in is just voting for him because it's allowing to go unchecked every vote for him. We know from numbers say if people had voted for Clinton, she would have won. But they didn't. They stayed home. I get it. She was the most qualified candidate that's ever run for president. She had all the experience and all that stuff. I agree that she was not likable. But now we have recorded proof of what Trump is and what he does. I will vote for a bag of cat vomit if that's the nominee. I know that that's a crazy thing to say, but we're not living in normal times. We do not have a normal president. We do not have a normal administration. We can't have it get down to 3% where we go to court. Look at the courts. Look at what he's done. If you don't think that was done intentionally, come on. Well, if we ever got to go to court, we know who's going to win that court case. You have to swallow the pill. You got to hit that switch and take the hit for all of us. Because I'll fucking do it. I'll do it every day. And I'm his target audience. I'm a 46-year-old white man. I'm supposed to be all on his junk. I can think of no person. And there are people in my life, in my past, who I really dislike. None of them compare to how much I loathe. And again, if Donald Trump wants to go back to just being a jerk-off, doing shitty business deals and being a racist, and okay, somebody that he's not the country's problem, he's the country club's problem. So I am not saying, I'm not getting a bumper sticker, I'm not gonna donate, but I'm gonna do what I have to do, because sometimes you gotta do something that sucks. But if the thing that you do that sucks makes Trump president, that's on you. I mean, there's no way around that. You can't argue your way out of that paper bag that 0 over here and 1 over here isn't a vote for him. You can't. You simply cannot do it. Now, you can make a lot of excuses. You can make a lot of weaved and woven, and you can make yourself feel comfortable with it. But you can't take that shit outside and say, hey, normal people, here's what I think. I think 0 equals 0. Because me not voting for him is going to make somebody else not vote for Trump. That's not how it works. That's not where we are. Yeah, they suck. They both suck. One of them, we have clear, definitive, legal proof of suckage. The other one we just don't like. We're uncomfortable with. We wouldn't let him babysit for sure. He's not taking our kids to the Hamptons. No way. But the other one, you can't do it. You just can't do it. I don't know what kind of mental gymnastics you're going to put yourself through to allow you to think it's okay for that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want nothing to do with you. If that's what you're going to do, and you're going to fuck everybody on that track so you can feel good, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm done with you. You made your choice.